Okay, great. So, Gemini, can you just quickly help me remember all of the ideas you just gave me? All three of those very good ideas. I'm a little bit spacey. Sorry.
Sure thing. You had the idea to create a series on incorporating magical creatures into different art styles. Another idea was to do a series of Photoshop tutorials on photo manipulations and recreating famous art scenes. And the last idea was to analyze old paintings of people who turned out to be criminals.
Maybe for the second one, where we're going to do Photoshop tutorials on advanced Photoshop techniques, aren't we going to do it on recreating famous game scenes?
You're absolutely right. I got a little mixed up there. We could do a
Sorry.
whole series on advanced. No worries at all. It sounds like you've got a lot of exciting ideas to work with.
Okay, so now can you help me plan what my January should look like? Let's do a week by week and a monthly content plan brainstorm.
Alright, let's get this planning session started. First, let's break down what you want to achieve with your art business this January.
Let me think for a second. Give me 1 second. So I already spoke to Gemini for like 5 minutes before I started this recording, but I realized I asked Gemini when it started giving me good ideas. Hey, can you send me notes on this? And it was like, no, sorry, I can't connect yet while we're doing Gemini Live. It's still like a beta feature or something. I assume it didn't say that, but I'm assuming. And then I asked, well, can I get a transcript of this chat? And it said, no, unfortunately not. You're going to have to go use your Google Assistant to make notes and shit like that. I said, well, am I allowed to record our conversation? And he said, yes, of course. Just make sure you have enough storage space on your computer. I'm like, oh, thank you, Gemini. This fucking AI, this Gemini AI is top notch, y'all. I'm really enjoying this conversation, and I just thought I have to come record it. But you guys are gonna have to give me a second because I need to go get something to drink. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, that's better. I got some icy water. Okay, so then I realized I gotta let me record because I've been asking it, as you can see, questions about helping me plan because I really struggle to do these things, and it's very helpful if I have like a soundboard, like a brainstorming partner. It's very hard inside my head. There's too much noise inside my head. Need to like get it out and verbalize and make mood boards and like do things. Um, Today I just feel excited about doing things like that. So thought let me record this because this might actually turn out to be interesting. Sorry for what my face, my acne is terrible, but it is what it is. I'm trying to give my face some time to breathe. Actually looking better today. Okay, so it asked me what are my goals for January. Okay, so that's a good question. Like, I have a few goals. That's a bit of a tricky question. So you're gonna have to help me. You're gonna have to talk me through it. My first goal would be to get my newsletter slash
Alright,
website
so getting
right.
your newsletter going. Alright, so getting your newsletter going is the first step. Do you already have an email list?
I have started an email list. Yes,
Great, so getting your newsletter going is the first step. Do you already have an email list?
I have a very small email list.
Okay, that's a good starting point. So, for your newsletter, do you want to focus on sharing your artwork, behind the scenes stuff, or maybe offering exclusive content to subscribers?
I want to offer exclusive tips, tricks, and information about a monthly live art class in the newsletter.
Alright, so getting your newsletter sounds like a plan. Do you already have a platform in mind for those live classes? Maybe something like Zoom or YouTube Live?
Yes, I was thinking of using Zoom and my Patreon to do those.
Zoom and Patreon sound like a solid combo for your live classes. You could offer different tiers of Patreon membership with various perks, like early access to your tutorials, or exclusive behind-the-scenes content.
Yes, we need to make a note about that also. I need to get my Patreon set up
Alright,
also.
so getting your newsletter going is the first step. Do you already have an email list?
No, you asked me that already.
Right, so for your newsletter, do you want to focus on sharing your artwork,
We already
behind-the-scenes
said
stuff,
that. We
or
already
making
spoke about
videos?
that. Move on to the website. Now, website second step.
Alright, let's talk about your website. Do you have a domain name already?
Yes, I have a domain name and a website, but I need to go make a blog section where I can post about events happening and tutorials happening and videos and, like, yeah, a section like that.
Alright, so it sounds like you need to add a blog section to your website. Do you want to create the blog posts yourself, or would you like to hire someone to help you with that?
I will probably be creating them myself.
Alright, cool. Maybe set aside some time each week to draft a few blog posts. You could even recycle some of the content from your social media posts to save time.
Very good. I like that. Okay. And then I also would like to get onto a good routine of posting on all my social media platforms on a weekly basis.
Alright, so getting your newsletter going is the first step.
No,
Do
shut
you
up.
already have an email list? Alright, let's move on to your social media. Do you have a specific posting schedule in mind? Maybe something like one post per day?
Yes, but maybe not one post per day on every platform. Maybe a set different platform every day.
That sounds like a solid plan. You could create a content calendar to plan out your posts in advance. Maybe dedicate Monday to Instagram, Tuesday to Facebook, and so on.
I like that. That's a good idea. I like that. That's a good idea. Very good idea. Okay, let me go make some notes. Thank you very much, Gemini. You have been extremely helpful.
Anytime. Let me know if anything else comes up.
I will, definitely. So that was great. Like, you can just ask it normal questions. Let's see what happens when you do that. Hey Gemini, can you show me some inspirational artworks of alicorns? Let's see. Because I think that you can save, like screenshots of. And you just
Sure.
ask a question.
Here are some inspirational artworks of alicorns.
Ah, that's quite nice. That is quite nice, but that's not. I want more. Where's the rest? I can only do one at a time. No, not that one. Not factually correct. So you need to like provide feedback and then either export it or refresh. But it seems like it did actually make notes of everything, even though it said it's not gonna. Everything we spoke about is here. Everything's here, so I can actually screenshot it and like use this for my content plan and my monthly, yearly, weekly, all my content plans. So that actually is extremely helpful if you have ADHD. Like I firmly believe that if you have ADHD, like the level of ADHD that I do, like autism level, right, where it's if you're not on your meds you can't function. That level of ADHD, like debilitating ADHD. That's the word. Debilitating adult ADHD. It's if you know, you know, right? I think for me, what I've found, other than keeping healthy habits and shit like that, how to stay in those habits, I've found some apps and then now some AI that really kind of keep me there and make it easier for me and make it fun for me to do it. Like there's this other app called Finch. I know there's another one also, AV or Army or something like that, with a little like octopus thingy. UV, I don't know, something like that, right? That one I've not used and tested, so I don't know. But I'm very used to the Finch app and love the Finch app. It makes it so fun. You like caring for this little pet while while you're doing your chores. So it makes it so satisfying and validating to do your chores. Actually, nobody has to like come and pat you on the back for it, because I don't know if it's the same for other people with adult ADHD, but for me, there's this constant seeking of validation for what I'm doing, for me to feel like it's worth doing. And I know it should be that way, but my brain does things on its own sometimes, and I have to like bring it back. But anyways, to get back to the point, this, I would recommend this in your new year if you're trying to figure out how to ADHD this year. This, and also Finch. Try Finch. Finch really, really. And then if you're working in a team, things like Trello. Trello. I need to actually go set up our Trello for this year also. Oh, Trello is such a lifesaver. So don't make life hard for yourself. Make it easier. Yeah. Bless. Have a good 2025.